Many children with autism have a hard time with unstructured leisure time and with independence tasks in general. We love teaching students to use an IAS, an independent activity schedule, to build many of these skills.
Hi, I'm Shira.
And I'm Shayna.
We are behavior analysts who create weekly content about how to teach kids with autism so that they make real progress. And we create shareable resources to make your job just a little easier. Today's topic is all about independent activity schedules. And if you want more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on new video releases.
So, when I was in elementary school and probably high school as well, I didn't always fill my leisure time very well. And on PD days, I still remember my mother would make me a huge list of things to do. So, there was always vacuuming the house and dusting and a few other things on there. And I look back and I'm like, she was creating an independent activity schedule for me.
What was the reinforcement?
I got to do more vacuuming when she came home. More like negative reinforcement. Do it or else, right?
Yeah, we love using IAS. What it really is stands for Independent Activity Schedule. It can apply to leisure skills or academic skills or chores and housework. And it means that you're putting all these skills within a schedule and working through those activities systematically and in order. It's really important for a lot of our kids with autism for a number of reasons. One is that a lot of our kids with autism struggle with unstructured leisure time. They don't always know what to do when there isn't a clear beginning and middle and end to what they're supposed to do. They need a lot of, parent involvement or caregiver engagement to keep them safe or, playing or engaging with the activity.
Independence is another huge thing, and it goes beyond leisure. It's really about, not needing an adult to initiate for that next task. And then, when you're talking about initiation, you're also talking about transitions and think about classrooms, think about schools, right? So transitioning from class to class or in a younger class, transitioning from activity to activity. If there is an independent activity schedule there, then the students can do that eventually on their own or with the help of pictures or text instead of an adult.
So what they're actually doing within the IAS, the activity is really less important than all the skills around it. And it's all those executive functioning skills that our students often struggle with also, which is managing their time, initiation, planning, all of those things that we really target within, an IAS schedule, which is less about, whether they're doing a worksheet or Lego or what the activity is. And it's more about the transitioning, the independence, the initiation, and all of those amazing skills that you can teach within an IAS.
It's really hard to discuss an IAS without seeing one. So we've included a video of someone doing an IAS. And what that looks like is they're following a picture activity schedule whereby they look at a picture and then they go and they get that item. And that picture could be a picture of the item, or it could be a picture of a number one, a number two, a number three, or it could be a picture of a star and they have to match the star to another star. And, they look at the picture, they go get the activity, they bring the activity back to the table, they do the activity, and then they clean it all up and they put the activity back on the shelf and they go get the next activity. So we'll show you a video of that next because it's really great to see that and then you can visualize everything. But in terms of actually doing that, how we would start that is really small. So, usually an independent activity schedule at the very end of it is up to 5 or 6 or 10 tasks on it. But when we start, we really just want to do one task and then a preferred activity. So you've got to do this one activity that's really short. It's a mastered activity. You've got this like a really quick worksheet or a puzzle or something else that's closed ended. It means it has an actual end to it. And once they can do that and they put it back, the next thing on their schedule is something really fun. And that would be the reinforcement.
But remember, it's not just about them doing the puzzle, right? It's about them getting the puzzle, setting up the puzzle, completing it without needing a lot of prompts and reminders, putting away the puzzle, all of those skills around the actual puzzle activity, which should be, like Shayna said, a really easy, mastered, closed-ended activity to start. And then you would build up from there to eventually be able to occupy themselves for maybe 30 minutes or an hour on doing things that might be more open-ended, but we have to build up to that. So once they could do one mastered activity fully independently, and that's again, all the skills around it, Then you could start adding 2 closed-ended activities, and then you could start adding maybe an open-ended activity and really build up from there as they're able to do more of those steps.
It's really important too to make sure that those activities that you're adding vary all the time. Can you imagine having to do that same activity in that activity schedule every single time? It would be so boring. And I'm sure the data would look, amazing for the first two trials. And then it would be like, okay, I can't do this puzzle again, or I can't do this worksheet again. So make sure you vary it, but make sure that those are tasks that a student can do. And then eventually you can add in tasks that may need a little bit of help. But at the beginning, it's all mastered activities. So in terms of data collection, we like task analyses for data collection because, like Shira said, we're not taking data on just the completion of the mastered activity. We're taking data on all those other steps. So usually I take data on, pointing to the picture or looking at that picture or text on that activity schedule. Second thing would be going to get that item and the right item and retrieving it, bringing it back to the table. That's the second thing. The third thing is doing the activity. And typically if it's mastered, it's pretty good. And then the fourth thing would be cleaning that up and putting it back. And then if they've got another activity, it would be coming back to the book, checking the book again, checking the schedule, and looking at the next thing on the item. And you would go through those things again.
And with the goal being independent, the task analysis is great and being able to track the amounts of prompts they need, right? Because it's not about whether they did it or they didn't. It's about how much, how independent could they be? How much support did they need? And then once they could do one task with complete independence and you build up from there, you can go so many ways with an IES schedule. You can be working on academic tasks. You can be introducing things like problem solving. So maybe there was something on their schedule that was in the IES, but they can't find it. And then they have to go look for it. You can include bigger transitions. So having to go from one room to the next, extending the amount of time so that if they could do it for 2 minutes, you're building up to 10 or 15 minutes. And then you can also do something where it's like a lot of life skills, like chores, and introducing things that aren't just leisure, but could be more fun, could be more work related, could be more chores related. There's so many different ways you can go. And when a child has the skill to follow this kind of structure, there's so many ways you can apply it.
So take a look at the video and everything we just said will make sense.
And for more information on IES, click the link on or around this video or in the description to claim your free task analysis datasheet. We also encourage you to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos and leave a like and comment below if you have further questions.